Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I am playing Final Girl, the newest game by Van Ryder Games. That's redundant. Where you play as the final girl in a slasher film. You know, the stereotypical kind of horror film trope where there's always one girl that lives until the very end. And that is exactly what we're doing here. I am playing as the very aggressive but loyal Laurie, who, if I save enough people, I'll get her special ability of whenever I am in the same space as an enemy and inflict damage, I deal an additional damage. And we have Hans the Butcher, who is ransacking Camp Happy Trails. He, for some reason, has a vendetta against the residents of, Happy Trails, and is just going to be running around and sledgehammering people to death. So, let's get, let's just get cracking. But first, there is actually a lore book that comes in, and as you know, if you've watched the channel before, I love reading, mainly because that is content. So, let's learn a little bit about Hans the Butcher, shall we? Well, this is, what he looks like. You can see him here, of course, and then he's pretty menacing. But let's dive deep into what Hans is really about, and maybe why he's a butcher. The campers sat around the fire, pretending to listen to another one of Edwin's famous spooky stories. Some were giggling, others were checking their phones, but all of them were pissing the counselor off. "Listen up, you little piss ants!" That got their attention. "Clearly, the stories haven't been scary enough, so we'll cut the kitty crap." He paused for effect, which more or less worked. "Have you ever heard of Hans?" "Hansel? You mean the guy in the piggy mask? Big deal!" one smartass threw back in his face, so Edwin stabbed him in the neck. "It's called a German shame mask, dipshit. Now listen up." For once, they did. Hans made everyone in the small town of Happy Trails uncomfortable. The boy never spoke, which was part of it. He would tag along with his parents and older siblings whenever they came to town to hawk their wares, standing in the back of the butcher stall, looking down on everyone. That was also a source of the unease, his freakish height. Although he was the youngest child in the Metzer clan, a family of butchers who had immigrated from Germany, he towered over all of them, even Helmut, the family's imposing patriarch. But his height and lack of speech weren't the real reasons why the town avoided him and children ran in fear. It was the wooden pig mask that he wore. "That's just my naughty little Liebchen, always too hungry for his own good," Anna, his mother, would say when asked about it. The townsfolk came to understand that Hans was being punished for his gluttony, forced to display his shame for all to see. His appetite must have been ravenous. He was never seen without the mask, although wet munching sounds could be heard from beneath it. He was a huge fan of Big League Chew, I think. Yeah, that was probably popular around this time. Hans was tolerated because the meat the Metzers sold out of their stall was better than anything else in town. Putting up with their giant mask-wearing freak was a small price to pay for pork chops and ribeyes of this quality. Over time, things changed. Fewer of the children came to the market. They were tending the farm while we were gone. Ada began to waste away, a recent illness, that is all. And Helmut became sallow and hollow-eyed, just a season of hard work, nothing more. Hans's presence remained unchanged, with the exception that his wooden mask has been replaced by a brutal-looking iron one. Yeah! The residents of Happy Trail said nothing publicly. Privately, they began enjoying their steak dinners less and less. One month, the Metzers simply didn't appear at market. No Helmut, no Ada, no Hans, and no prime rib. Which was the most important of all. The town decided to send a small search party to the farm to check on the family. They found it deserted. The house was empty, no animals grazed in the pasture. An eerie quiet lay over the entire property, as if even the birds and insects had left. The last place they looked was the barn, an imposing red structure behind the main homestead that the Metzers had used as their slaughterhouse. They opened the doors and went inside. Afterwards, the search party refused to talk about what they had seen. Instead, they burned the barn and the rest of the farm to the ground and walked back to Happy Trails with the look of soldiers returning from war. "The Metzers are gone," is all they would say. The other butchers in town went out of business. The appetite for meat evaporated overnight. What do you think happened? You think they were all massacred and hung up on, like, fucking pig hooks? Probably. Animals began disappearing first. A goat here, a cow there. Every so often a beloved family dog. The first child to go missing shocked Happy Trails, which had always been a safe community. But it was only after the fourth had disappeared that people began to leave. Ah, whatever, 3 kids, that's just normal. Oh, 4? Ooh, we're out. Thomas Hofstadter said he saw an enormous dark shape drag Maria Woodson into the dark. Others said they heard crunching sounds coming from the woods at night. Most believed them and fled. Some remained out of stubbornness. That year was a census year, but when the census takers arrived at Happy Trails, they found it utterly empty. Many of the doors were open, with rotting meals on the table, as if the families living there had simply disappeared mid-bite. Eventually the town was razed and forgotten. Happy Trails, population 0. Years later, this camp was built on top of where the town once was. Over there. Edwin pointed off into the dark. That's where the Metzer's farmstead used to be. If you listen carefully, you can still hear Hans wandering through the trees, dragging his hammer and munching on something wet and chewy beneath his iron mask. As if the campers turned to look, they heard a wet crunching sound in the trees. Right on cue, they screamed, with some even hightailing it away in the opposite direction. Edwin began to laugh. You little punks, we planned that! Zeke was hiding in the woods waiting to make his Hans sounds until I finished the story. The last thing Edwin heard was a sickening crunch as his skull collapsed in a geyser of bone and scarlet. The immense figure behind him in an iron pig mask hoisted the giant hammer, now slick with blood, and surveyed the remaining campers. Some fleeing into the woods and others frozen in fear. In the flickering firelight, it looked as if the mask was smiling. Hans couldn't help but admire the lovely buffet that had been delivered to his home, like pigs to the slaughter. That was lame. So, that is that. Hans just slaughtered Edwin. He probably deserved it. Most counselors do. But let's learn a little bit about Laurie, the one who was looking at Hans with shadows on her face from the fireplace in the camp. Laurie Carpenter was born with a chip on her shoulder. Even from a young age, the fastest way to get her to do something was to tell her that she couldn't do it. No, you can't try out for football. No, you can't learn how to play the guitar. No, you can't take martial arts. Whenever she heard the word no, a switch flipped somewhere deep inside her, and she would do everything within her power to accomplish the very thing she'd been told she couldn't do. While this quality turned Laurie into an ambitious, focused, and tough-as-nails woman, it didn't exactly win her many friends. Most people were turned off by her intensity, and a lot of people who came into her orbit were a bit scared of her. Even at 5'7", Laurie gave off the vibe that she could break you in two if she felt like it, no matter how much bigger or stronger you might be. But those who stuck around discovered a fiercely loyal friend who would go to hell and back for them. One thing was for certain. You definitely wanted Laurie on your side, and you'd better run for your life if you were her enemy. Like bitch-ass Hans is her enemy. Let's fucking do this! Alright, so we have everything set up, got the cards, the items. We have a knife that is we know is in the cabin. We have a flashlight that we know is in the dock, and pepper spray we know is in the utility shed. So not too bad there. The knife just gives me an extra damage, but it is one-handed. The flashlight is once per action. I can spend the time to look at the top card of the terror deck and put it on top or bottom. And then pepper spray. If the killer is in your space, you may discard this to immediately end the killer phase. Ignore this remaining movement. Ignore the remaining movement, attacks, and any other effects, which is really good. Also one hand, so I can have a knife and pepper spray in the other. Alright, for first things first, we have an event. Girlfriend! She's cute, funny, and the biggest badass I've ever known. The victim closest to you is now your girlfriend. Hell yeah! Boom. Alright. She will follow you into the killer's space. While she is in your space, roll +1 die for each horror roll. If the girlfriend... Oh my. If the girlfriend dies while in your space, 5 horror. That is rough. So I definitely want to save her. I could still have her escape, but that +1 is pretty good. Alright. Do I just go for it? I have no way of searching right now to get that knife. I get an extra die. I know for a fact I'm going to walk and protect her. So let's see. Laurie and... what's a good girlfriend name for Laurie? She's a badass. What is a good badass name? I'm thinking... Ripley. Got it. Yep, that's my girlfriend Ripley. Just making sure all my cameras are on. Alright, Ripley, so I'm going to walk. I'm going to try and save her at least. That is pretty good. So I will go 1 and pick her up and then go 2. Be like, come with me, and she will follow. So normally whenever you're carrying people like around, you can pull them out of the killer space, but they will not follow you in. So, with that, I think I'm going to... I'm going to focus. Let's see if I can lower some of that horror. Nope. Alright, I guess I'm going to, because the killer's not going to get to me that quick. I'll turn that in, so then I will lower the horror, but I'm going to lose a time. And, let's see... I want that knife just to have an additional, but maybe I do have every final girl has a has like a special weapon. I have it in the game, so we'll see if I can get it. But the one thing we got to keep in mind is during this scenario, treasure hunt, is these people who are together are definitely searching for some treasure, if you know what I mean. So. They all ran, and they're like, it might be our last night alive, so let's hook up in the dock, let's go to the cabins, we have all the, we'll have the mattress to ourselves. And these people just went to the utility shed, because they're like, it's the furthest from everyone. This guy wanted to think about life and reminisce and at least be warm around the fire pit. This person's just trying to book it away as far as possible. And this one has no idea what's happening. They're actually at makeout point by themselves, either practicing, probably at this time, a body pillow, brother's own body pillow. Not judging. I'm not going to yuck your yum. So, I am going to walk and try and get to the cabins. Hell yeah! 2 successes, so I will get to move up to 2 spaces. Let's go 1, 2 to the cabins, so I can at least get that knife, or something else. But definitely bringing Ripley with me. I'm going to hold on to this short rest. So... that was the action phase, and we go to the planning phase. I have 4. I'm going to spend 2 on a search, for sure, and then 2 on a sprint. Yeah, so that'll be that. And then, all of these are zeros, so they are going to go into the 0. And then we go back up to 6. So those are all in the tableau. Then the killer phase. So the killer, he has an action here. He'll target either the final girl, so Laurie, or victims, which are these. There is no one there, so instead we will just draw a terror card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Just making sure. He just keeps coming. I can hear that wet munching. When is he going to spit out the big league chew? So, he is going to move 1 space towards the victim. They're the closest. And his movement is only 1. Very slow, very methodical. Just, dragging that sledgehammer across the concrete. And he's going to attack no one. So the difference basically is there's 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2. You know what? Actually, I'm going to have him go this way. So there's actually I like the tiebreaker here. The game ambiguity, basically, if there's a tie, you go towards that. If there's a tie, then you go based off of the ambiguity. You can do the rule of infinite evil, resolve it in such a way that results in the worst outcome. Rule of objective realism, whichever he would go after thematically. Or the rule of never-ending hilarity, whichever one you find the funniest. And you pick kind of one of those to always be the tiebreaker. I'm going to go with realism. So there are more victims for him to kill this way, so I'll make that be the tiebreaker. But he's still slowly walking towards them. This guy is just he keeps tripping. Actually, funny enough, he did fall. And that's that. So then we go to the panic phase. No victims were killed, so no one runs. They all think they're safe. Upkeep phase, there is no upkeep to do, so now we just go back to the action phase, which I am very much going to search while I'm in the cabins, and I love that. That's pretty hot. So I will take the top 2 item cards at my space and choose one. So I'm at the cabins. A knife or an axe. Oh, I'm definitely taking the axe. I'm going to put this knife at the bottom because I don't even need it. Hold still for a second while I bury this into your face. So that is two-handed, so that's going to be the only weapon I can have. So if I get the pepper spray, I would have to swap these out during the upkeep phase. I can still get the flashlight. So searching took some time to do, and hell yeah. And I think I am going to... Alright. I think I will sprint. Let's just see what I can do. Okay, so I can move up to 2 spaces, which is fine, I think, yeah. Here's the question. I think I am going to leave Ripley in the cabin. She'll be safe there. She can just enjoy that smell. And I'm going to take these 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2 to this exit, and I'm going to save both of them. You know, the young couple, they got together while at camp, so we know it'll last forever. And I am going to do the one that gives me 2 more time. And I can do another one that gives me an action card. Take an action card, max up to 2 time. There's no way he's going to come after me. And there's no way he's going to book. I mean, he very much can. He can just see me and book it towards me and then just attack me. But I feel like I'd be safe. So I am going to actually, because I'm going to get 2 walks, I'm going to do another one that gives me the 2 more time. So those 2 are now safe. And then I have my short rest. So I'm actually going to stop there, just drag them out, and then I'm like, go, Ripley, you stay there. I'll be back for you, I promise. And yeah, so now we got the planning phase. So I have 9 total to spend. And I can't get a sprint, and I can't get a search. So I'm definitely going to get all my zeros back. That's definitely happening. In case he does come after me, I think I will spend 2 for a guard, just in case. 1 on a close call, and then the other 6 on a critical blow. Hell yeah. I'm going to take him down before he even has a chance to kill anyone. That's not true. He's definitely going to kill someone. So that'll get reset to 6. And then the sprint will go there, and then search will go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew, okay. Gotta remember, you can't have more than 10. Now, he's not killing anyone, so his action does nothing. So then he will draw a terror. He just keeps coming. He keeps coming. Alright. So the first thing he is going to do is his target is going to be a victim. And he's going to move once. Oh, first the horror goes up. Oh, I forgot to put horror up for the first one. Oh, there, the 2 he just keeps coming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so the smacking of chewing just gets louder and louder as like... He crashes open the utility shed, and then just fucking, as they were making out, this guy was really getting into it, and then she's just like, oh, Jeremy, and then he just like, and crushes his head in. They only have 1 health, so he's dead. Bloodshed goes up as Monica. We'll do Monica and Chandler. Jeremy's over here at makeout point. Yeah, that was Monica and Chandler. So Chandler's totally dead. He was like, why is he right behind me? And then he died. Pretty aggressively. So that happened. And then the panic phase. So we'll do, obviously the only one that's there is, that's going to be a 6. So yep, totally runs out of there. And that is that. Yeah, the upkeep phase, which there is no upkeep. So actions. Yeah, totally knew he wasn't going to come after me. But hearing him crash open that door, ooh, man, that is not great. Do I just want to wait? I might wait for him to come out. I have one walk. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna walk. Hell yeah, that's better, baby. So I'm gonna move up to 2 spaces. I'm gonna go in here, and that is Gunther right there. So Gunther, come with me. Like, and then I'm gonna run back and be like, we need you to stay alive. And I'm going to actually move 1 space. Yeah. I'm gonna move 1 space for saving him. I could walk again, but actually, I'm gonna be able to get the sprint. Most likely it's gonna be moving out, so I'm actually gonna move 1 into there. I'm not gonna go back into that spot because walking caused that to happen. I think I will walk again. I'm gonna go get Ripley. Okay, so that will allow me to go in there and then take her back. Come on, baby, I want you with me. I want you with me whenever I stab him. So that'll take a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I'm not gonna risk focusing. So I think I am going to actually. Do I? You know what? Yeah. I am actually gonna risk it. I'm gonna focus, really focus now that I have her by me, and I get an extra die. That's awesome. That gives me the 2 successes I needed. Thank you. With you by my side, we can do anything. So that actually will lower her, and I'm gonna get 2 time, which is exactly what I needed. So I'm focusing with this axe in my hand, just twirling it, with Ripley behind me, and I'm gonna stop end my turn there because I want to purchase action cards. So I have 6. Obviously the 2 walks, and the focuses. So I'm gonna get a sprint. I'm gonna get a furious strike, which is all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, yeah. This is gonna be awesome. Unless whatever he does just throws a wrench into things. Now it's his turn. He's not killing anyone. So we have the terror. He just keeps coming. Oh, that is rough. Man, yeah. He just keeps coming. He just fucking. Oh, I'm not finished with you. As Monica's like, no, and then he just like brings the hammer down. You want me to bring the hammer down? And yeah, totally just ends both of them. At least they died together. Which increases his bloodlust, which increases horror. Ooh, that's getting pretty up there. But I think I'm going to be able to do quite a bit of damage on this. Panic phase, there's no one left to panic. These guys are still going at it. I saved the other 2. Alright. No upkeep phase, or there is, but there's basically you rearrange items or you reveal his finale if the tarot cards are all gone, which they're not. Alright, so let's see. Yep, it is now my turn. Time to sprint, baby. And that got me 2 successes. Perfect. So glad she's with me. And that is going to be, I can move up to 3 spaces. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Bringing her with me. This is actually really risky because if he kills her, stay behind me. Then this is going to be 5 horror, which is basically 1 and then 4 bloodlust. But, do I have a walk? I don't have a walk. I do have a guard, though. Oh, but he has to attack me for me to use it. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is the critical blow! Alright, so that is going to be... Well... Oh, whoops. Let's get rid of the focus and the short rest to be able to turn this into a success. I definitely need this to happen. So, critical blow. This is huge, huge. As he kills Monica and Chandler, or running away, I just run up and embed this axe into his back. That's going to be 5 damage because it's 3 from that. Horror goes down because he's not scary anymore. If they bleed, they can die. So that is going to be 5 because the axe also gives me an additional 2. So 5 damage. 2, 4, 5. And then we're going to go into the critical blow, into the furious strike, which is going to be, yep, that's 2 successes there. So the critical blow says, if I land this, it could be the killing blow. Don't screw this up. Just like wedge it out and then just go for the furious strike. Bitch! Who are you calling a bitch? You want a bitch? I'll show you a bitch! And that's going to be 4 damage. 2, 4. Also lowering horror. He's just like, and then finally going for the weak attack. That is gonna be 1, 2, 3 damage. I got 1 success, and he kind of just does one final backhand as I do 1, 2, 3. So that'll be all his health, unless he has extra health from that. And let's just hope that he doesn't. So let's see. He does not, and Hans is chopped into pork chops. Oh yeah, check that out. So, whoo, yeah, he got a few kills. He got a few kills, but he was not ready for the triple attack combo with the critical blow, furious strike, and then the final attack into him, and Hans is dead, and me and Ripley live happily ever after. Alright, so that was Final Girl, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Click the eye to go to the discussion. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.